There's more than one version of God in Christianity. There isn't in the Bible, there's one God in Scripture. But as you look around the evangelical or the Christian world, whatever label you want to put on it, there actually are some options. There's a God who is the God of the Bible, triune, Trinity, Father, loving Son, loving Father by the Spirit, a God who's relational, who's others-centered, who's glory-giving, who communicates, and on and on it goes, like a fountain with kind of goodness coming out from him and spreading to create and to redeem and so on. That's the God of the Bible, I believe. But there are alternatives. Some people tend to view God more as a solitary individual being who is completely concerned with himself. The Son and the Spirit are somehow explained or included, but essentially there's a oneness. And when you get the God as pure one rather than the Trinity, that comes with a whole set of kind of thoughts that go with that power is the most important thing to him, and law is the most significant way that he deals with creation. And suddenly you get a very different tone and a very different feel to the whole of your theology, to the whole of your understanding. Others would see God as a sort of a distant entity that we try to access, that we try to get to, some sort of experience to be had rather than a personal God to be known. And so I think those are the big options. A God that actually is much more reflecting the philosophy of, for example, Aristotle. Another God who's is influenced much more by the philosophy of Plato, and so you get these two big ideas coming into the church. Or what I would suggest is the God of the Bible, and that is the Trinity, Father, Son, Spirit, who is inherently different to the others. And that's the God that we have, and that's good news. It's a great reality to wrestle with. But if we just assume God is God is God, everyone knows who God is, a lot of people view God in a way that fits one of the other versions or even other religions better than Christianity. And so I think it's critical to wrestle with that, and scripturally. In fact, let me put it this way. In history, we are among the only people who have ever assumed that God equals God, that we know who God is. In most places, in most of the world, from most of history, talk about God immediately brings the question, which God are you talking about? Because there's lots of them. Which one do you mean? That's true in the scriptures, it's true in history, it's true across the world, and I think it needs to be true in our conversation. Which God are you talking about? Tell me about him. What is he like? That's the most important question we could ever ask.